Hello and welcome to PT Live. Now, Poland has a big diaspora. Most people know this. It's about 20 million, which is about half the population of actually the Polish domestic population. So it's a very large force, and traditionally it's been a little bit disconnected from Poland, maybe has an old-fashioned view of Poland, but increasingly there are very young, dynamic people, and the question is, are they going to come back to Poland? And to help us answer this question, we have with us Paweł Bochnowski, who is with Plugin, Polish Innovation Diaspora Foundation. So Paweł, are young Poles who've been out in the world, are they coming back to Poland?
On my example, yes. Hello everyone. I'm living in London and in Wrocław at the same time. I'm a part of Diaspora, Polish Diaspora in London, because I'm having a contract over there, and more than half of the week I'm spending in London. But I'm coming back every almost weekend to Poland, to my family, to my friends.
So, but you have family in England, don't you?
No, I have my family in Poland.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's the issue that I have, because most of my parents and most of my family is living in Poland. So, for example, I'm living in both countries at the same time. It's very easy for us, for young people now, to live in more than one location, because we have cheap flights, we have work from home opportunities, and a lot of other advantages that can help us to work whenever we want.
Well, the image of the Polish diaspora sometimes is a little bit like Polonia, kind of old-fashioned, and also people who don't realize that Poland is actually, people of Polish extraction or origin who don't realize that Poland is actually very dynamic. Is this true with you, or is the younger generation much more aware?
I think that the younger generation is much more aware, because they see what we are doing over the world, right? Right now, Poland has a lot of startups, a lot of companies are moving to Poland, so they heard about us, about Poland economy, and that we are growing. And I'm pretty sure that Polish diaspora is also having some connections with the family over here, so they can hear from during the Skype conversations or having a call with family. They can hear that Poland is changing.
But are they thinking of coming back? I mean, you did a survey recently, a survey of young Poles in diaspora, and 82.8% said that their main motivation for leaving was curiosity and desire to see the world or personal development, whereas better job prospects was only 35.5%. So it seems like these young Poles who've left Poland did it more for adventure. Are they thinking about coming back? I mean, are you seeing facts and figures that they're coming back to Poland for their career, or are they still staying in their countries where they're living?
We are focusing in our report on the specialists, right? On the people, mostly on IT, that were, they have opportunity in Poland as well. And most of them are thinking about coming back to Poland. Many of them have still connection with their country. I think that almost 20% of them, according to our report, are mostly meeting with Polish people. So they are still having this connection with the country. Although we need to remember about people who has children. Because if you have a child and your child is going to the school and a school system, it's not so often when you are coming back to country of your origin. If your child is going well in school, you probably will stay there till they finish. I had the same situation with my aunt who lived in Canada, and she moved there with very small children over there, and she raised her children there. And even though she loved Poland, even though she's traveling to Poland at least once every 3 years, she stays there because her family is there, her children live there, have friends there, so she wants to stay there.
Okay, I mean, so let's say the ones who do come back, presumably they come back with more skills and a more awareness of a different environment, different business environment, which should help them in Poland. Do you find that? I mean, do they integrate well back into Polish business society, if you like?
I can see that on my friends. Example, when they moved back to Poland from abroad, from Germany, they started her own company. She started her own company with her husband, and they were connecting people between Poland and Germany. So they make contacts all over the world. People who are coming back have more contacts, more networking. People in their network, they are having more people over there, and they are trying to combine the advantages of the Western countries, of more developed countries, with the opportunities in Poland. Because right now in Poland we have a great time to be honest. Our economy is growing, is booming, and we have a lot of specialists in most of the sectors that are current very innovation sectors. So that's why people are, when they are coming back to Poland, they are trying to establish something to help our economy grow and also to use their contacts abroad. So this is a very good opportunity.
I mean, in terms of like sense of Polishness, now, do the Poles that you meet and you liaise with as plug-in, are they proud of Poland? Are they kind of maybe looking to start their own thing and to have a distance with the home country, if you like?
Find people from both sides.
From both sides.
Yeah, because many of people have never been in Poland. They have a Polish roots, but they don't know about them. We all know about one of the co-founders of Apple, right? Woźniak doesn't have anything in common with Poland. Of course, he was here, but more on the business purpose. Yeah. He's not mentioning the Poland very often because he don't remember anything about. He doesn't remember anything about this country. So if someone has the roots, if someone has like still connection, they are proud to be Polish people, and that's why we are trying to establish that as our diaspora all over the world.
Okay. I mean, in terms of, let's say, what the government can do, because the government wants to see Polish people come back, and then you have, for example, Polish Airways is starting an initiative to bring Polish people back to Poland, at least to see Poland. What would you advise for the government to do, or can they do anything to try and attract skilled Poles back?
One thing, grow the economy.
That's it. Concentrate on the economy.
Concentrate on the economy. Don't bother us. Some kind of action. Some ads. This is not working.
Really?
Yeah. If you have a good economy and you have a great companies over here that are worth to work for, people.
So this filters out. You don't need to so much advertise it. It does get out to the community that it's.
From my personal opinion, no. You stop doing ads. Start focusing on the economy.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion on that.
Well, I mean, very much like plug-in. We'll come to it in a moment because you have an event in London. But just before we come to that, everyone talks about young Poles, etc. But what about, let's say, the silver economy? I mean, Polish people who left maybe a long time ago, but they're coming to retirement. They've built up some savings. They have a house, for example, in America or in Britain. Or they sell the house. And are you seeing that they can come back to Poland and also contribute to the economy in that sense, bringing their money?
I have never noticed that, to be honest. Unfortunately, people who lived abroad for a very long time, they have families over there already. They established their lives there. So if someone is living abroad for, let's say, 20 years, it's very hard to return. Especially when you are thinking about, the health system. You are part of the health system of the countries that you were working for.
Last question. You have an event in London. Can you just tell us in a brief nutshell, what is this event?
Sure. This is the 5th edition of our event, Polish Tech Day. We are trying to connect the British investors, the British business, with Polish vendors, with Polish startups. We have a whole day event. On the morning, we have a British-Polish IT forum with a lot of panelists all over the world.
Really?
They are really great
Diaspora panelists or just any
also
expert?
Diaspora panelists and experts from Poland, from Britain, from also the South America,
really?
From all over the world.
What's the date again?
25th of October.
25th of October.
Yeah, and later on the evening we have our gala evening, and we have great awards, awards of ambassadors of Polish innovation for people who did most for our diaspora all over the world in the last 30 years.
I think we've run out of time, so just a quick one in an even more minute nutshell. Brexit, is it having an effect on Polish people coming back to Poland?
Oh my, this is not a quick answer for that. I think that Brexit will have an impact on people who would like to go to Britain. But for people who live there, I don't see any kind of angst there. I don't see any kind of fear. This is the normal fear that all people in Britain has. You know that best, right?
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.